I'm going to look at how to use a tool called valgrind. So I'm currently on compute.engineering.arizona.edu, aka ECE3, and I've created a directory called ECE275. And in this directory I've also created an example called malloc. So I'm going to go into my malloc directory here. And so here I have two files. One is cmake lists, which is not that interesting. It just tells me that my project's name is going to be malloc example, and that I want to create an executable called malloc example with main.c. What's interesting is inside of main.c. So inside of here you can see that I'm declaring an int array, and this is a pointer to an int, and then I allocate some memory for this pointer. So I want it to be 10 long. I want to be able to put 10 integers in this array. And then I'm going to print the address of that array, and then I'm going to free the array. And then I'm going to return 0. So I'm going to do what we almost always do. Make dir build, and then go into my build directory and run cmake. And then make. And then I'm going to run malloc example. And it just gives me the address of the memory I allocated. Every time I run this, I'm going to get a different address, because every time I run, malloc is going to decide to give me different amounts of memory. So it looks like my computer's program is running pretty well here. Let's try to mess it up. So I've said in class a couple times that every time you have an array that you allocate memory for, so here I'm mallocing some memory, for every malloc you should have a free. So in here I'm freeing this memory. But in fact, I want to run it this time without freeing the memory and see what happens. So I'm going to comment this line out. And I'm going to rerun make. So I didn't get any compile errors. There's no compile warnings. Let's see if it actually runs correctly. So I'm going to run malloc example. And it seems like there's really nothing different, right? Every time I run it, I'm getting a slightly different answer, just like I did before. There seems to be no real problem. However, this is a memory leak. Not freeing this memory will leak memory and will cost you points on your homework. So how can I tell if I'm freeing all the memory that I allocate? Well, I'm glad you asked, because on this machine, ECE3, I have a tool called valgrind. So valgrind exists in user bin valgrind, and I run it just like I would run another program. That is, I just type valgrind. But I want to run valgrind on the program that I just created, which is malloc example. And so by running valgrind on my program, it's going to tell me whether I have any memory leaks. And so you can see here that I'm running valgrind on my executable malloc example, and that I used 40 bytes in one block on the heap, and that I definitely lost those values here. So it says you definitely lost 40 bytes in one block. So I need to run more if I run this with -- leak check full LC details. So -- leak check equals full. Bad option leak. Now why did it tell me to do that? Probably I need to spell full in lowercase. Equals full. And so now it tells me you lost 40 bytes in this block, and you lost it in main at, it won't tell me exactly where in main, but it tells me that it happened in the file main that I was calling malloc. So I can use this to figure out that in my main function I've got a problem. So let's edit the main function again. And now I'm going to actually free the array value, rerun make, and now rerun valgrind again. And now it tells me all heap blocks were freed, no leaks are possible. So this is what you'd like to see at the end of your program. Every time you run malloc, you should have a free. And you want to make sure that all the memory that you allocate throughout your program is freed by you, so that you can know that you're not going to lose any points on your homework. Good luck, everyone.